this session we will see the journal entries for purchase and sale of an item, if there is VAT or if there isn't any VAT. First we will see without VAT. Okay, suppose you have purchased an inventory item for 1000. So what will be the journal entry? It is very simple. You will just debit inventory and credit what? Account payable, cash or bank. So why this account payable is being credited if you are purchasing on credit? This is your liability, and increase in liability is, if there is increase in liability, what will happen? It will be credit. And why I am debiting this amount? Increase in asset is your debit. And if we have purchased this on bank or cash, or then why we are crediting? Then this means that we are decreasing our asset, and decrease in asset is what? Credit. Okay, so these are the reason for this purchase, debit and credit. Now let's do the journal entry for sale. So when we will make the journal entry for sale, cash or bank will be debit because this is our asset, and increase in asset is debit. And what will be credit? Revenue will be credit. Why? Because increase in revenue is credit. So that is the reason for debit and credit of this. Okay, we'll make one more entry. If you see, we have sold this item for 15,000. So this item needs to be removed from inventory. So what happens is, now inventory account is gone. Inventory, from inventory account, this amount, cost of goods sold amount, is gone for this asset. So inventory asset has decreased. So decrease in asset is credit. And what is debit? Cost of goods sold is debit because we have to charge this to P&L. Okay, so to record the expense. So increase in expense is debit. So that is the reason for this. So these are the journal entry for sale and purchase of items without VAT. Now let's consider if there is VAT, what will be the journal entries. Okay, so let's see. Once we will purchase the item, what we will do? We'll debit inventory asset account. The same reason, asset has been increased. And we will also debit VAT input, because this VAT input is your, you can say it as an asset, or this is your contra liability. This is reducing your liability. So once there is decrease in liability, then it is debit. Either way you have to debit it. So we are debiting VAT input due to the two reasons: either it is your refund, then it is an asset, or it is reducing your VAT total liability. So once there is decrease in liability, then it is also debit. That is why we call it contra liability as well. And what is the credit amount? The credit amount is, if it is cash sales, cash purchase, then cash or bank will be credit because this is your asset. For this has been reduced, so that is why credit. Or if you have purchased it on credit, then this is your liability, and increase in liability is also credit. Okay, all right, now what will be the journal entry if we will sell these items? So what will happen when we will sell it? Either we will sell it on bank, on cash, or if we sell on credit. Okay, if we sell it on credit, what will happen? Cash will increase or bank will increase with the total amount of sale plus the VAT amount. Okay, so total amount has increased with this amount, so increase in asset is debit. So this asset can be cash or bank or account receivable. Okay, and similarly, if you see over here, VAT, now what will be the credit? This was the debit amount. Okay, now what will be the credit? Your revenue has increased with 1500. Keep in mind, your revenue has increased with 1500, not 1575. This is your revenue. Increase in revenue is credit. And also VAT output is your liability, and increase in liability is what? Credit. So that is why it is being credited. Okay, and similarly you have to transfer this amount to cost of goods sold, the amount of inventory. So this 1000 you will transfer to cost of goods sold because this has been removed, or it has been gone from your inventory asset. So your inventory asset has been reduced with this cost value. So what will happen? Your inventory asset will be reduced, so it is credit. And what will be the debit? Cost of goods sold. expense will be debit, so this will, you will charge this to your PNL. So this entry will also be done. So these are the journal entries for sale and purchase with VAT and without VAT. Let's disintegrate this entry and see how this entry works. Let us see it in a more deep way. Okay, so all the entries are done. If you are interested to see it in a more deep way, just you can continue, otherwise it's okay, we have done the general entries. Okay, now let me see it in a bit more detail. Okay, if you see over here, this 1000, the cash that you have received 1575, this has 1000, then 500, and then 75. Three kind of this is the mixture of three kind of amounts. Okay, that is why I told you it is a bit of deep dig. So you have to, this core, this is a core concept. So this 1000 was what worth of your inventory. Okay, this 500 is your GP, gross profit, and 75 is what? 75 is what? Your VAT output. So this is how this total amount is being coming over here. Okay, one more thing that I want to discuss with you is this revenue has two parts. This revenue has two parts. Okay, what are they? I think you know, 1000 and 500. This revenue has two parts. This, just for the sake of understanding, I am doing this. Okay, just if you will disintegrate it, or if you will dig deep, you will see it. Okay, so this is what cost of asset, cost plus what? GP, gross profit that you have charged. What is the cost? 1000, and what is the GP? 500. So this is how it is being, you know, the reason, or you can say that if you want, if you are just interested in to zoom in and see more detailed thing, this is the constitute of three values. It has your inventory cost plus GP plus VAT, and this amount, your revenue, the amount that you are getting for the sale amount is of what? 1000 is for what? 1000 is for the cost, and 500 is for GP. Okay, so once you will make the profit and loss account, you will minus this 1500, you will minus this 1000 from this 1500. This is your revenue, and you will get this 500. Okay, so that was just a deep dig down for you. So I hope you like this video. Please click the subscribe button for me, share it with your friends. Thank you.